Solari Enterprises Teresa, making a whole lot of cash from Hackla and other sources, is testifying before the Senate subcommittee, and they ask her, why is your Muslim cult harassing a Christian in a wheelchair? And what else are you doing with that harassment? Do you have ties to ISIS or the Taliban or the royal Saudi Arabian family? And she looks over to Enrique Vergara, waiting his turn in the seat, and right next to him is yes, the cowardly Hussein placed in our White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins with 9/11, and he's doing this. So he says, I'll take the fifth. Leg, a Governor Newsom of California is at a photo op, and they ask him, why aren't you doing your job protecting a Christian in a wheelchair? Why are you doing the exact opposite of your job with those cowardly Hussein placers? When else will my family's life will not be allowed to work, Governor, because of what you're doing? And the last question is, how much are the kickbacks you're getting from the dangerous Muslims of Solari Enterprises, Iranian Muslims? And he fidgets around, looks a little sheepish, and he says, well, I don't know. I'm just waiting for the whole thing to blow over to get that, maybe they'll just up and kill him, those Mormons and those Muslims there. And that's when they get that, he gets impeached. Impeached because you can't reach. Impeached because you can't reach. Muslim, Mormon, Catholic, whatever he's supposed to be, he's not doing the Christian thing. He's not doing his job either. I am Milton, son of a carpenter and Mary. Dad, a carpenter, worked on skyscrapers, Mom Mary Ann. Son of a carpenter and Mary, I get to make parables. And I've been putting my audio documentaries of dangerous Muslim Iranian Solari calling to complain about the noise from the Mormon cult and the Muslim cult directly below me. Been doing that for a while, but I'm going back to sort. Got June through September. And yeah, of course, I can't put all of it on there. Like that time I called up and someone picked up the line and said, Abdul, take your terrorists out of Pakistan, put them in Iran. I have work for you there. Make that video if you had that call to me, see terrorists at work on American soil. Post. Be the reporter. Regional manager of Solari Enterprises is testifying before the Senate subcommittee. Lots of documentaries of her and Enrique Vergara are lying to a lot of folks about their hijacked lifelines. And the senator asked, does your Muslim company harassing a Christian in a wheelchair and many other harassment projects, do you have any ties to ISIS, the Taliban, or Saudi Arabia's other organizations perhaps? And Teresa refuses to answer on the grounds that the cowardly Hussein is holding up his hand in the audience there to tell her to take the fifth. Calling to complain to Teresa Solari Enterprises. You should too. That's your family's lifeline being affected by their active part. Very active. And America's hijacked lifelines. Not 1-593-check calling over a decade of asking. No conspiracy theory here, guys, that you hear the time and the date in your video, my number dialed. A lot of dangerous folks praying to that 9/11 Muslim devil down below. That's Iranian Muslim Solari Enterprises. If you out there who might see this on YouTube, if Susan Wojcicki, Russian placer of Russian Trump, is not suppressing truth about your family's hijacked lifelines, if you see this on YouTube, give me some idea of who to call to protect the Christian in a wheelchair, telling you the truth about your family's lifeline for over a decade. Sunday. Apartment 309. You know why I'm reluctant to call even anonymously to the police? Because the man was screaming at me in your office. And the video of that, since you're not doing anything about it, I'd like to keep it from being swept under the rug. Is the man below me here at 309, is he connected to Solari Enterprises in any way? Because he turned the case and heard him talking as if he were managing. Do you know anything about that? And why aren't you doing anything about the man threatening me? Laying in wait as I, in a wheelchair, go across the street to get food. Who would I call to complain? Who's the top of Solari Enterprises, and who that protects in federal, state, or county or city agencies who protects handicapped folks in wheelchairs? Can you get me someone to call to, since you're not doing your job?
If you're satisfied with the message, press 1. To leave the number from which you are phone number 42422294140. If the number is correct, press 1. To send your message with normal delivery, press 1. To send your message with urgent delivery, press 2. Thank you. Your message has been sent.
Urgent delivery. Make that video of Iranian Solari Enterprises being asked again and again. Your family's lifelines, you tried to call me. And get that chant going. Why are you harassing a Christian in a wheelchair is what you asked Solari Enterprises. When else will my family's lifeline not be allowed to work? And yes, get that chant going at Catholic Governor Newsom, Jewish Mayor Garcetti of LA, Presbyterian Trump, recall because we can't call, as well as all who are not doing their jobs. Who are actively praying to the 9/11 Muslim devil down below. Get it on video. Try to call me and get those impeachment and recall procedures going. We need leaders who can do their job, not be a part of dangerous folks from overseas harassing a Christian in a wheelchair on American soil. This is 1 hour of me trying to get Solari Enterprises to do their job as an apartment manager, and them showing themselves to be that Iranian terrorists on American soil harassing a Christian in a wheelchair. Go. So make a point of trying to call me with all of Solari Enterprises. They can't seem to make up their minds who is the regional manager, but all of them. Get them on video as you try to call me. 424-229-4140. Post. Recall because we can't call until any politician that wants to be around next term does their job. Here's a video of my Solari Enterprises, Muslim Iranian Solari Enterprises harassing a Christian in a wheelchair. It jumped out of today's folder. So I'm putting that back in, and they altered. Same way as when, don't take my word for it. Maybe he's not certain of this or that. When you make that video, you had to call to me. You make a video stolen mail. Has nothing to do with me at all. He's a handsome bald guy. He's grown a new body. Maybe he doesn't remember stuff. No. I'm very sharp. And yes, Father Factory's video was altered to make it look stupid, and by the Mormon cult on site, Harbinger of the Apocalypse. And yes, go to this site, listen to these countless documentaries, and ask the Muslim Solari Enterprises. Give them a 5 when they come out of the grocery store. They waylaid me with their Muslim from down below, often talking as if he is part of management. Come into the office. If I get another noise complaint out of you, that's 2 years ago, and that's Solari Enterprises, Teresa Bridgeport, Enrique Vergara, not doing a thing about that because they're getting promotions, they're making money, they're in with the cowardly Hussein Plaisters. Call them on that. I'm going to put these two in today's folder. Make another video of this for tomorrow. You try to call me and get that chant going. Recall because we can't call. Cowardly Catholic Newsom governor, photo ops, cowardly Jewish Mayor Garcetti not protecting Christians because they're in wheelchairs. They're not Jewish. And Presbyterian Trump got the hand in it too. Look for the old building. You'll find Eagle Rock in York, and the old building on the left. On the other side of this building is York. It's Eagle Rock, and right over here, this side of York, on that side, is that Presbyterian place. Ask, why are you an active part in America's hijacked lifelines? Why are you harassing a Christian in a wheelchair? One asks, will my family's lifeline not be allowed to work because of what you're doing? Governor Newsom, why have you been actively involved in harassing a Christian in a wheelchair? Active in my family's hijacked lifelines. The senator at the Senate subcommittee gets right to the point. And Governor Newsom kind of mumbles something. Big word, Governor. Handsome bald guy. And he mumbles again when he asks again, and then he finally says, oh, I heard that governors couldn't be called before a Senate subcommittee. And then they ask him about connections to ISIS and Taliban because of the nature of harassment of Christians in a wheelchair here in Eagle Rock, Solari Enterprises, and he, cowardly Hussein out in the audience is doing this, so he takes the fifth. My same symmetry goes a long way. So they're desperate as anything, and they literally, as I went down to see, followed my doctor in to see me, Christian in a wheelchair. They picked that one time for the Shauna manager to be here, and I can't talk. I'm picking the doctor up, doctor and his assistant, and the man called again and again, and the man who has been harassing with noise, laid in wait for me as I went across the street, then screamed at me, and in a typical Lori and Bridgie Bond way, screamed at me. Her gay husband as well way. Screamed at me. And Solari Enterprises office down there. I'm trying to call them up. 323-810-4959.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Victor's apartment's emergency phone system is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Is Miss Brady calling from apartment 409 about the hateful noise coming from apartment 309? And I still haven't heard back from you or Solari Enterprises about a man laying in wait for me as I went across the street to get food and then screaming at me in your office, Shauna. I haven't heard back from any of those folks about what you're doing about that man who is harassing a Christian in a wheelchair with noise. And yes, screaming at me in Shauna's Solari Enterprises office. I've told you in previous messages, and I haven't heard back from you from was it a week ago? I called 5 times. It's been 2.5 years that Enrique Vergor, who's now supposed to be the regional manager of Solari Enterprises, with an anonymous complaint because the man's screaming at me in your office about calling the police when I didn't. He got a promotion, Enrique did. Do something about it. I know you've got that for security card. Not doing anything about the very Muslim company he works for, and the very Muslim and Mormon folks in the apartment down below harassing. I need you, if nothing else. Go call in my anonymous complaint so the man's not screaming at me. Do something for him screaming at me. Solari Enterprises. Remember to get that chant going. I can't get an answer out of them on the phone. They're just different. At Trump's photo ops, Catholic, Presbyterian Trump, Catholic Governor Newsom, and Jewish Mayor
What's his or her
Garcetti. I don't know. I'll have to Google what Michael Moore of the LAPD is.
Yes, I'd like the video of that.
But they're not shy. They'll have photo ops about shooting down unarmed man, that kind of thing.
Is there anything with
Hold up those big fives at all of their photo ops and ask them, when else will my family's lifeline be affected by your treason, your malfeasance, your hatred of Christianity, truth, and saints? When will my family's lifeline be affected? Michael Moore, LAPD, being bit slapped by the Mormons, the Muslims, from the apartment down below tonight, as well as Mayor Garcetti, Governor Newsom. I didn't even touch it. It turns on. That's high-tech toys taunting, I think, to drain the battery. Make that video. Hold up those big fives, get that chant going. Recall because we can't call. and ask Michael Moore and whatever. The county and the state troopers of Louisiana, Utah, and California. Why are you an active part in our hijacked lifelines? Why can't we reach this man, John Milton Brady? They passed the buck to the feds. You get names. Post. Whatever you get when you don't get me. Recall because we can't call. Why are you being bit slapped instead of doing your job? California, in particular, law enforcement. Eagle Rock's covered by all three, aren't they? If one's not doing the job, get the others too. And put those numbers, all of them, California's, Louisiana's, Utah's, cops, and officials. You try to call me with them on speakerphone, not one Flight 93 check in a decade of asking. Ask, why are you harassing a Christian in a wheelchair in Eagle Rock? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? The devil Lori can reach me by phone. Ask her how she does that. Get them screaming out. What else? When else? They are involved in America's hijacked lifelines or other things that compromise our security. And yes, ask Devil Lori, her gay husband Samuel Lynn Bond, his gay brother Sheriff Bond with the Department of Water and Power, and Mo Bond, that Iranian wife of Cheryl's. What's your part? You see them broken down by the side of the road because of car karma? Try to call me in front of them. Find out what else they're involved in. I'm working on getting these all together. But for those of you out there who are looking out for the best interests of America despite incompetent Trump and, yes, cowardly Hussein placing right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins, whenever you see these like September 14th, September 15th, that's when Iranian Muslim Solari Enterprises has the man down below harassing a Christian in a wheelchair. So who knows what else they're doing. But the man was screaming in Shauna's office about calling the police. And I don't feel safe calling them up even with an anonymous complaint, and I sure didn't get any results from that. So call up Solari Enterprises, see them in person, and try to call me and ask what federal agencies are in charge of protecting Christians in a wheelchair. And yeah, these are when Utahnians are back and forth between Utah, I've talked about it before, the snot-nosed, in bed with the dangerous Muslims from overseas like Solari Enterprises, Iranian ties, and yeah, I often make that because I've heard the groups mentioned a few times, the AT&T side and the patio side. They have that Teresa Bridgeport or Enrique Vergara or whoever is supposed to be the top of Solari Enterprises. They can't tell me. Maybe you can find out. They have them in the Senate subcommittee chair, and they ask, do you have ties to the Taliban, ISIS, any of those Mideast countries? And they always take that fifth in my fun parable. I'm Melton, son of a carpenter Mary. Now, when you make that video, that's a definite threat to our security, not one Flight 93 check in over a decade of asking. And I'm glad to see someone on the YouTube thing or the links thing, they're making presidents accountable. I guess they had enough with the cowardly Hussein and his ties to those same folks. But I saw that just a couple of days ago about how, yeah, you don't get to skip all when you're that bloody-handed. Make a video of Trump and Hussein's bloody hands. I can't design my August phone gate with the new recall because we can't call. I can't design it because of high-tech toys affecting not this computer that's connected to the internet, but the one in the bedroom. That's not. Make that video of, and yeah, chant at every Jewish Mayor Garcetti, Catholic Governor Newsom, Presbyterian, yes, he's over there, the Presbyterians on the other side of that new high-priced apartment complexes over there. Recall because we can't call. Get that chant going and ask Trump, why are you an active part in harassing a Christian in a wheelchair? What else are you doing? All those folks, recall because we can't call, and Solari Enterprises bring their damn phone off the hook. Ask him, why are you such a threat to America and an active part in America's hijacked lifelines? Remember the post? And recall again and again and again. Solari Enterprises with their dangerous Muslims on site here. And very cold to calculate as much as the devil Lorianne Brady Bond is cold to calculate. Making that noise, turning it off, making the noise. And yes, I'm pretty sure management, at least the Shauna there in the office, let the very angry Muslim in the apartment down below know I'd gone across the street to get pills or food 2 months ago. And yes, he laid in wait and was screaming at me in her office. Once again, if you know anybody who can, the hate I saw at Hussein's Little Arabia with that only place I could find to live for 3 years. It wrote that image up there, Solari Enterprises writes this one. It's very true. You know about the Muslim missionary effort. Come protect the Christian in a wheelchair, show me a decent place to live, and get Trump, Garcetti, Newsom. Get that chant going. Recall because we can't call. And if you know that news story, or there was a lady on the, I just glanced at it, who was trying to get that as a bill or something. See if you can email it to Trump, text it to him, and get him to do something for the dangerous Muslims of Solari Enterprises that are keeping you from calling me. And you don't know when else your phone won't be allowed to work. Not one comment on any of this Flight 93 tech imagery of the Taliban torsos or any of my graphic art. Get it on video. Solari Enterprises Muslim hate. In LA, 1 in 30 Americans lives in LA County. It's a danger. Those Solari Enterprises folks, get it on video and get those folks not doing anything about that dangerous hate. It's religious hate. His name is placed in the cowardly Hussein in our White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins. How'd they do that? Whatever boring thing you get, that's my template for Trump's PhoneGate August. Part of it. Whatever boring thing you get when you can't get me, phone ringing, error message, busy signal, that is more than just money out of your pocket, AT&T's livelihood. Oh, here it is. It is Lori's hatred when run wild. I swear the devil. Personal knife in the back sister is down below. No comments on that image either. Or any of my Tommies. Come protect Chris in a wheelchair, protect America, protect your family by putting a spotlight on this dangerous Muslim hatred. With Solari Enterprises in Eagle Rock, a neighborhood in northern Los Angeles, ask them, why are you doing that? Are you planning a revolution? Are you planning an invasion? If so, the Russians, the Mideast? Why can't I reach this man? Why has he been asking for a Flight 93 check for over a decade without getting one? Why are the Muslims and the Mormons so overcome, Chinese as well, with anger around here? so hateful of a man who wants to build Jesus' immaculate house here on earth with thousand points of light. Make that video, make those videos, get that chant going at all those folks in office. Recall because we can't call. What else are the Muslims doing? President Trump, Mayor Garcetti, Governor Newsom, what else are those dangerous Muslims doing? When else will my family's lifeline be affected by your malfeasance? So Harry has a big file on his desk, and whenever somebody asks, he says, here, reaches into the drawer, gets a couple of paper clips and some tape. You got tabletop art, desktop art. He reaches into the desk and gives them a 5. Laminate to last longer. And tells them, you make a video of America's Hijacked Lifelines. You call up every reporter, network news anchor there is. You try to call Milton in front of them. And yes, Father Harry prints out some new 5s quite often to protect that flock of his. You should too. The general is visiting his family off base on Sunday, and a man walks up to him and he starts asking about America's hijacked lifelines, about dangerous folks with angry Muslims. Solari Enterprises taking an active part in America's hijacked lifelines, as well as AT&T buying Spectrum next door to harass a Christian in a wheelchair. They ask him all about that, and he just flies into a rage, yelling and screaming at the guy. Everybody in the church parking lot is looking at him. And as he makes that video, the man asks the general, were you this angry, this incompetent, when we got attacked by all those angry Muslims, cowardly Husseins with 9/11? My OneDrive with check 424-229-4140 and posting5@outlook.com. Now, I'm thinking about taking the Tommies off the low def, audios and Link 6L even, and just having it for the Saints. These are from the weekend. All Saints is like something like this. In a slideshow, some laminated, some not, a couple of them not. And yeah, that's the tree out in front. Got a Saint that needs an image, try to call me, 424-229-4140. See the devil, steal on your call, then make that video of that. And yeah, find the Saint's imagery as a low def right there. Hope to get the link on the Excel soon. Come see me in person, tell me all about that Saint that needs an image after you make that video of your hijack call to me trying to do that. 1714-282-2520. Solari Enterprises office.
Thank you for calling Solari Enterprises Incorporated, affordable housing specialist. To ensure the highest level of customer service, this call may be monitored and recorded. If you know your party's extension, you may enter it at any time. To dial by name, please press 1. For contact information, including address and fax number, please press 2. To request an application for our current communities now being leased, please press 3. For the operator, please press 0. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you for calling Solari Enterprises. How much you call?
Yes, ma'am. The regional manager of Solari Enterprises, Teresa, do you have the last name?
Bridgeport.
Yes, ma'am.
Her last name is Bridgeport.
Bridgeport. Is she there right now?
No, she's currently working out in the field today.
I'd like to leave a message. It's unreal. And I'd like to request a man that I have been complaining about since I got to T Terrace in Eagle Rock.
And are you a resident at one of our communities?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a resident the past 2.5 years. And
Or which
this
community?
T Terrace.
Big Terrace?
And about 2 months ago, give or take a couple weeks, the man who
But
was...
Teresa's not the regional manager for Big Terrace.
Yeah, I need to talk to the regional manager.
The regional manager is
Enrique.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last time I called did he get promoted again? Because last time I called, the message said Teresa was the regional manager.
No, Teresa's not the regional manager for Big Terrace.
So
It would be Enrique.
where does he work? Does he have does Enrique, because that's the one who's not doing the job, does he have a manager? I need to know.
Yeah, that would be Sean.
You see, that's not making sense. Sean is the manager in the office downstairs.
No, Sean is the manager at Big Terrace, and there's another Sean, which the names are spelled differently, and he is the director of property management here at the corporate office.
Okay, now how can I complain? I'm in a wheelchair. The man laid in wait, and I'm assuming somebody let him know I was going across to get my food, and then he was screaming at me in Shauna's office there. I need to know if you have the video, because it's been swept under the rug, and I haven't heard back from Solari Enterprises. Left quite a few messages here. Or
Let me see if Sean's available. Give me one moment.
If he's currently unavailable, why do you have to email him? Is he in the building, or is it a different place?
Well, I would have to email your information so he can call you back. Or you can leave him a voicemail. It's up to you.
Oh, I'll leave him the voicemail.
Okay, one moment. Voicemail, please leave a detailed message including your name and contact information. Should you need immediate assistance, please dial 0 to speak to a Solari Enterprises team member. Thank you and have a good day. Please leave your message after the tone. When done, hang up or press the pound key.
It's Mr. Brady, apartment 409-424-229-4140 at Teague Terrace in Eagle Rock. Last time I called, 2 months ago, or a month ago with this, I was told Teresa Bridgeport was the regional manager. I have had trouble with the man below me harassing me, a Chris in a wheelchair, with the noise from the apartment. I've called time and time again, and a couple months ago, I went across the street to get food and came back, and he was lying in wait for me outside of the apartment complex here. Went into Shauna's office there and yelled and screamed at me. And I want to know if I can get the video footage from that. Enrique was out, Shauna was there, I put somebody in, nothing about the man. That's me complaining. That's a message to Solari Enterprises, and
Laying in wait for me a couple
the woman
months,
being very
give or take a
bizarre
couple
about that.
weeks. Can
and I get that video, I want to make sure it doesn't disappear. And Gianna's part in that. That's unreal. And I got called
And I made several
times,
audios of my
not 6.
call to
Yesterday, I
get
couldn't
help
get anything out of her. She's not answering
from Teague
the
Terrace,
phone. She's not even,
and they've
she's
got
not
a security
screening
guard
and
on
getting
site.
back. Who do
Over
I
the
complain
weekends, it
to
was
as
Sunday.
far
I
as
kept telling them time and time again, I know you got this. I've had trouble with this man down below again and again.
In a wheelchair, where do I get that from? Can you help me
And
with
she
that?
would not return her
The folks I've
calls.
talked to already sure aren't.
It is
424-229-4140.
religious hate, and that's what they're. It doesn't say what they're saying. It says, "Hey, hate speech," and it's not.
Endangering the other 50 folks in the apartment complex.
I'm thinking it's a fake screen, but I don't know. For YouTube.
The past 2.5 years I've been
Make that video, whatever you get when you don't get me. Post in front of all of Solari Enterprises.
Thank you. Press 1 to accept this recording. Press 2, your message has been saved.
As bizarre as anything, it is.
That's unreal.
How does this affect you?
I
The
swear
Muslim
the devil
cult,
or him
literally.
My personal knife in the back sister is here in person.
I'd swear it. But yeah. I've got a few of these, and it does not explain, the screen doesn't. Why? What's the supposed hate? It was for a saint's image. Last time, it is the Mormon cult, as I call them. Harbinger of the apocalypse, you can call it whatever you want, but it's your family's lifeline not working as you pick up the phone. 424-229-4140. So, get those big fives, like that one in the window over there. All Garcetti, Mayor Garcetti guy, Jewish, Catholic Governor Newsom, and Presbyterian Trump hate Christian that's in a wheelchair, so you get recalled because we can't call. Hold up those big fives about America's hijacked lifelines. Had each and every photo op of those 3 people and many others. Recall because we can't call. And it was, oh, there it is. This personal knife in the back can reach me by phone. Ask her how she does that. Because if you're in a burning building and your phone's not allowed to work as you try to call me, you need to know what the devil bitch herself, Lori, knows to get her phone to work to taunt me, a man in a wheelchair, about my AT&T, they own Spectrum, AT&T Livelihood and AT&T Lifelines, both of ours. Whatever boring thing you get when you don't get me, guys, you're getting that with countless other folks. It is your AT&T Livelihood, so that AT&T can be at the top of the business, so that whatever is the top of your business can be at the top of your business. So get it on video. Your hijack call to me. Recall because we can't call at every photo op, especially those incumbents. Oh, they've changed now. They used to taunt, I think it was taunting because of time at times with the Ryder truck, and as you all know, Rando tells all of his management, yeah, if you're doing dirty business, you make sure you use someone else's truck. And right over here, that's the fleet and a big truck like that. They got plenty. It was a rider vehicle taunting, and it's on the right direction, because the next time after I made a few videos, that's how I know they get out. It had a very small rider on the door of the truck, and now it doesn't have any, and of course they don't need anybody else's trucks. They got a fleet, and then some, I'm sure. Make that video, post that video of Solari Enterprises Muslim folks openly harassing a Christian in a wheelchair. I'm going to make a video of my YouTube's, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Make that video, post that video. That's your child's lifeline. It's Senate subcommittee kind of stuff. Save the video as you call all of LA's police officers, all of LA County's police officers. They don't mind being interrupted at their home. I can't call them anymore. I would call in an anonymous complaint and that would stop. But obviously they didn't do enough to stop it. So call up YouTube's executives. I'm thinking with mega corporations, in case it's a Mormon cult with high-tech toys kind of harbinger thing, they have ways of making sure that doesn't happen. So that after I made a funny Susan Wojcicki skipping off to Russia and Putin sending her back for the Senate subcommittee, after that hate, and it doesn't explain what the hate is. I probably had a saint image in there. Yeah. This happens. So you call up all of YouTube, all of the cops of California, cops of Utah as well. They spend most of their time in California and other places, I'm sure, with their harassment projects of their snot nose. Yes, the harbinger high-tech toy stuff and just plain harassment and yelling and screaming and such. Make that video. Whatever you get when you don't get me, post. And recall because we can't call. Drown out any photo op advantage they hope to get, including the cops. They know how to have a photo op. They have one every time they shoot an unarmed man. You ask them, why can't I reach Melton? Why are you not protecting your citizens, especially those in wheelchairs? Are you Mormon? Michael? Moore? Ask the others, Mormon, Muslim. There's a reason Solari Enterprises is running wild and there's nobody to check them. America must get that cowardly Hussein placing censorship that starts in California. Get it on video. You trying to call me? Post. Do some intel for America. Get them a little angry. They'll scream out what else. Susan Wojcicki of YouTube and the ever-changing regional manager of Solari Enterprises is doing. Get them screaming out. They don't mind their residents being disturbed by hate against their religion. So you find Enrique, he's going to get some groceries. That's what he told the angry Muslim guy that was laying in wait for me as I came back. Rolled back across the street and he goes from polite to screaming. Matter of seconds. That's the Lori kind of hatred. Her gay husband Samuel Lynn Bond kind of hatred too. You get all the Solari Enterprises employees. One's not making the big bucks like whoever is the regional manager. They'll tell you what the regional manager is doing with their Saudi Arabia folks. Any connections they might have to the Mideast, ISIS, Taliban. I hear both of those phrases. Both of those titles mentioned a lot here. At the terrorists, you ask them about that. This man hears them talking about the ISIS and Taliban. Iraqis in particular of recent times. What is your part in America's hijacked lifelines, Enrique? Teresa Bridgeport, what's your part? Post. Calling up Solari Enterprises again.
Muslim hatred of Christianity.
Solari Enterprises, Muslim hatred of a Christian in a wheelchair. 323-810-4959 goes well beyond that though. Because
I think it's the baptism.
they got plenty of apartment complexes.
Jesus is Immaculate House, 1,000 Points of Light that I did a week ago.
And it's about
that their hatred has spilled over the Muslims. Muslim Solari Enterprises making a whole lot of money out of Hackla, not doing their job.
Your family's lifeline hijacked. You tried to call me and Solari Enterprises dangerous terrorists.
You try to call me with them on speakerphone. You get tried to call me from the Garcetti, governor, Catholic governor. Jewish.
Your call has been forwarded to an
Newsom's the Catholic governor. Garcetti's the Jewish mayor. Trump is the
is not available.
Presbyterian.
At the tone, please record your message. When you finish recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
You don't care what their
Press
religion is, you just don't want the Muslims active in America to hijack lifelines with that cowardly Hussein placing and harassing a Christian in a wheelchair, telling the truth about that. 424-229-4140.
Solari Enterprises, can I get
I can't call the cops.
regional manager's full name?
The Solari Enterprises have them threaten me in
This is unreal.
the office
And yes, I know you
downstairs.
got
Solari Enterprises, Muslim
security guard here
hatred
up
threatening.
Sunday. Why aren't you having them address that? I know you screen your calls, but is it your hatred of me personally? Is it, what is it? 424-229-4140. You know why I don't call the police with an anonymous complaint even? As one of your managers, I guess got fired previously, told me to do. Why I don't do that is because the man lies in wait when I don't even call the police. And screams at me with the full blessing of you, Rika Bergara, Teresa, regional manager, and Shauna. I need to know. Who can I complain to? The ATA?
Civil ACLU? Civil
Why
Liberties? Is
are you
that
not
it?
doing something about this?
Give me something.
Been 2 months now, is it, since the man threatened
Housing
me?
Works,
Was laying in wait for
that
me?
moved me
It's not
here,
the first instance. He was
They
beating on the door 2 years
aren't doing
ago.
a thing about it. Solari Enterprises
your
is
part in
active
this?
in America's
Why
hijack
aren't you doing
lifelines.
something about that?
Otherwise,
You
I
know
wouldn't
what
be
had
here. They got
Solari
plenty of
Enterprises done about
easy hackling
the
money
dangerous man down
apartment
below
complex
threatening?
to move me to. They are simply Muslim hate. Pick up your phone, 424-229-4140 to see that
To leave another
for yourself. That's Muslim hatred of your phone working all the time.
phone number 4.
Not one flight in every taken over a decade of asking.
94140. If the number is
Get
correct,
Solari
press one.
Enterprises,
To send your
Garcetti,
message with normal
LA
delivery,
Mayor,
press one. To
Newsom,
send your message with urgent delivery, press
Governor,
thank you.
California,
Your
and
message has
Trump.
been sent.
Why are you harassing a Christian in a wheelchair? When else will my family's lifeline not be allowed to work with you active in that?